Every single text, every single picture, every single call, every single email.
Nah, that's a little too much.
This is crazy. Sometimes our closest relationships
Look at
are the
this.
toughest ones. We're about to unpack the most defining relationship of our lives. I'm Kat Takahashi, and today's episode of
Look at this.
Split Decision is about mothers and daughters. Can mothers and daughters ever truly be friends? Let's see how close you really are. Are you ready, everybody?
Yes.
Let's do this.
The video's playing fine.
For your happiness.
There we go.
Make your split decisions in 3,
let's get it.
2, 1. Go ahead and turn around.
Wait, who's who? Okay. Right, it's the...
Rachel, let's start with you. You feel responsible for your mother's happiness?
We're very connected to each other.
Okay.
And I think we've talked about when she feels
She's
sad,
looking
I feel
hard.
sad. When she's happy, I'm happy.
They look very similar.
Do you feel responsible for your daughter's happiness?
I do, and I'm really happy you don't feel responsible for mine. I just think that it's like my daughter is my total sunshine. Like all she has to do is exist, and it makes me happy. And I don't know why that is.
Now, us four at the end here, we say we don't feel responsible for happiness.
I hope I have taught you everything you need
Okay.
to be responsible for your own happiness.
I like that. I like that. I like that.
To me. And if you're looking to me to help you feel better or expect that I should, what are you going to do when I'm gone? I don't.
Dang.
I want.
I hate when parents hit you with
focus on
that.
Your own life. I believe you are your own being. I believe you passed through me to be your own person, and I want to facilitate that.
I feel like I do want to contribute to her happiness, but
you do.
But us as her children shouldn't be the sole source.
Right.
To find it from, she always taught us that you have to find it from within yourself. So obviously, I want to contribute to your happiness, not detract.
Be the happiness. Yeah.
I'm just not comfortable with the emotional part, and you know that. When you and I get together, and we talk about things, we cry together. It's very personal. So, but as far as her happiness, no, I do not feel responsible for her.
They look very similar too. All these kids look very similar to their moms.
Was go live your life.
They look the exact same.
For everything.
I feel like they raised us to be really independent and to do what we want. And so
I do enjoy her hair. Her hair look nice. Her hair look nice.
Do what I want. It's
the
my
beads
life,
kind of fire. Might
not
have to steal that.
theirs. If it comes down to just me doing something that feels authentically aligned with myself, or keeping my parents happy with how I'm living my life, I'm almost always going to choose what I want to do.
Right.
I may not like all of her decisions. It may
most parents don't.
Me, but we did our job, and I am so proud of that.
Oh, she gonna get.
Being the eldest daughter can be so annoying and stressful at times. When my 10 sisters and 5 brothers drive me up the wall with their problems, I usually have no one else to turn to. Thankfully, I found that seeing a therapist has helped me work on setting the right boundaries.
You have invaded my privacy.
Yes.
Split
No, I'm
decisions
playing.
in
I don't think my
3,
parents are.
2, 1. All right, go ahead and turn around.
They all said no. I'm gonna guess the daughters probably say yes. Yeah.
Others say no, but we got some privacy invasions up here on this side. Okay.
I'm not surprised.
You felt like your mother has invaded your privacy.
Well, I know for sure that there's some.
Oh,
some
she put the
Snapchat
hand down
pictures and memories that you've
and
seen
caught that.
behind my back.
Now that's some crazy
spyware
works.
on all my children's phones.
You put
spyware.
I sure did.
What is spyware?
That software that they're like, do you think your boyfriend's cheating on you? Yeah, I put it on all the phones. I put it on all the internet.
The internet?
In my home, all the computers.
So you know
That's-
every website?
Every single text, every single picture, every single call, every single email.
Nah, that's a little too much.
Daughters. Would you be
No, I would.
your mom
No, I would have tweaked. I would tweak.
texts and snaps?
Absolutely not.
You know, I would tweak.
Absolutely not.
I would genuinely tweak.
No, I really don't like that feeling in my body.
No, that would actually be terrifying. Like you would feel like you're in a box. Like I would feel stuck. Genuinely. That's crazy. Is it just me? Because I feel like I would genuinely be looking like this is a problem. This is a problem. Like I would feel so. Gosh, like anything you do, you at that point you might as well not even have social life. Just everything. Every text got to be school. You got to be texting your teacher, and that's it. At that
Make
point.
me feel like my tummy is feeling weird. It just, I don't know. Like location, I'll take that. Just
Location's
electricity,
fine.
for sure. Text and stuff like that, I don't know. I just gotta feel safe somewhere. Even when I'm writing in my journal, I'm thinking about how, oh, after I die, someone's gonna read this one day, and it freaks me
Right.
out, and like it makes me want to hold back and not say like my weirdest intrusive thoughts. And so
Right. Makes you keep to yourself.
imagine someone, like, having
Every
access to that
website you
without
go
me
on
doing that
to,
them
like,
freaks me out.
imagine being a
Well, the question
14-year-old
was
at the
asked when she
time.
was younger, would you ever read my diary if you ever found it? Absolutely not. I, as a parent, I feel it's my responsibility to give them that space. I want them safe, absolutely. And there are, you remember that time you were talking to somebody on,
Yes.
What happened?
When I was like 6, I was on MSN Messenger, messaging some friends, and
MSN.
a random person started messaging me.
Okay.
And we started getting along. And
Okay.
they said something like, "Okay, well, I'll pick you up. I have a green card. We can go get some ice cream or something." And you know, my mom has
A
taught
green
me
card?
so much about stranger danger.
Bam.
And also, by this point, I knew better. But I went upstairs to go get change, and my whole family was waiting for me. My brother had changed his name on MSN to like lure me into that situation to see how I would react.
Oh,
And I was
wow.
like, "Oh, I was just coming up to put my socks on to go play with the dogs. I wasn't going." And they're like, "We saw the messages." So
Watch
I
your
appreciate it.
stupid boy. Oh, shit. Nah, that's actually a W family, though. They called you stupid at it. They truly called you. Every ounce you Paul. Wait, never mind. They still called you, though. Hey, W family, though.
And Izzy, I want to know, why are you standing on yes?
I knew you were gonna come to me. I know. I was like making eye contact, and I saw her looking at me too. Well, she used to take my phone when I was in middle school and go through it. So
Yeah.
How
and,
often?
and in high school,
How often?
very often. And my iPod Touch, so I had to text people from my
The iPod Touch.
and then delete them when I'd be talking to my boy. I would literally say, "Oh, sorry, my mom's about to take. I'm about to look through."
Oh,
my
so it would
phone."
happen pretty often. When did she stop doing that?
Maybe 17.
17.
Dang.
I think so. Yeah.
Fam, I'm so
You
happy
can
my
tell me if
parents
I'm
never
wrong.
did
I
that.
remember it being.
I'm genuinely happy my parents never did
I
that.
remember doing it.
Granted,
Here's
I'm
the
a
thing,
boy,
when
too.
You
This
guys
is-
were really the first generation to have cell phones.
Mm-hmm.
We did not have cell phones.
Right.
And I was a mom blogger at the very beginning of when blogging started happening and digital world was really sort of coming alive, and what were the
Where is this going?
implications of it. But I wasn't sure what she was taking in from the outside world.
Okay.
And so every now and then, maybe every 6 months or so,
It was
maybe once a
or
year,
6 weeks.
it was not. It was not felt like that because you were younger. Time was different. Thank you.
Yeah, fist bump. Yeah.
Fist bump.
There were also. I also stepped
A fist bump for that.
to this line because there was another thing that I think she was getting at just with the blogging is there's still a lot when you Google my name, there's still a lot of information about me as a child online, which
What kind of information?
just articles that she wrote, which is fine, but it's now when you Google my name and I'm 24, there's LA Times.
Jubilee does a good
articles
job at hiding their mics.
What,
and
like,
everything.
Is it not good information?
They
or
genuinely
what?
do.
One of them
Like,
was not. One
can't
of them
see
was
it at
not
all.
Great. It was.
Their lavaliers
It
are
was
gone.
basically saying that I was a bitch when I was very young.
I feel like context is really missing from a lot.
I'm missing one part. Sorry, I need to give the context.
What exactly happened?
My writing was about my perspective on parenting and sharing that experience. And it was a really hard push and pull because it was my livelihood and it was also their lives. And at some point, you guys were, I probably want to say, by the time you reached middle school, I stopped doing it because I felt like the stories were no longer mine to tell. Like when they were younger and they're talking about a story about how all the balls are getting thrown up into the tree and I end up keep buying new.
You're trying to avoid saying that I did not like you when you were in middle school. When you hit puberty, I did not like you. Just say it. We know you didn't like her. We know you didn't like that. We know you about heads. We knew when that time rolled around, it was not good. When that time of the month rolled around, it was not good for either of y'all. We know. We know. Just say it. Just say it. Stop talking about my perspective. We know.
Basketballs and there like stories like that. And there were also stories about I at that time was dating my now husband. We've been together for almost 18 years, my second husband. And so it was a lot of conversation about what it's like to be dating as a mom and how are my kids dealing with this
We
person
need
in
to
my
talk.
life? Yeah,
Yeah, you and I need to
exactly.
talk after.
And but there was also when she was really
No, y'all
young, I
don't.
was dealing with a lot of
I promise y'all don't.
You had some occupational therapy and you had physical therapy, and it was a lot. It was a lot for me, and I needed the outlet for it. So I wrote a lot of these stories, but they were always very intentionally from the perspective of how much I love my children, how I am trying so hard as a parent, how I'm trying to help them be great kids. And in one story, she has this little sister. Her sister followed her around everywhere, loved her, loved her, loved her. And Izzy didn't want anything to do with her, and it broke my heart because I'm a little sister. So
Well, that's
I
usually what
really
happens,
connected
though.
with it, and I just lost it, and I feel so bad about it still to this day. But I wrote a story called "My Daughter's a Bitch and It's Not My Fault."
Holy
And she was 9.
guacamole.
Oh, I said I
9.
wasn't gonna cry.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You okay, sweetie?
I know.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
It was
a long time ago.
It was, and it
this
was
hurts
very
me.
much. I know it hurt me too, and I go back and I look at it. And
This
by the
mom.
way, implications.
She remind
what
me
you
of
write
my aunt.
online stays with
That's
you
funny.
forever.
Yeah, it
And,
does. That digital footprint go crazy.
And I recognized that was definitely the worst thing. I can like feel the science in there. It was the worst thing I ever wrote, but it also, if you read it, I was really good at clickbait titles. So just know that that was the title. But it was really about understanding and sympathizing a younger sister's view. And the final thing of my story was Izzy was beginning to come around, and that I know
It was just a title. I get it.
The word smiling, and so the end it was, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make her smile.
Oh,
And
But it blew
And-
up.
no, it's just something that comes up when you Google my
Oh, I
name.
see.
You might be able to find it. Honestly, we didn't in 2009. The internet was so different. Like, I don't blame her at all. Obviously, our relationship is much better now, and my relationship with my sister is much better. I mean, I was 9, but it's just funny
But it
because
still follows you around. Like you're
Yeah, because-
applying for jobs, you're doing things.
we can't hire her. She was a bitch when she was 9.
That'd be hilarious.
But maybe they don't see the date. Oh, January 1st, 2009, and they're like, oh, that was 15 years ago. And I don't resent her at all for that. I don't
And I'll find
I don't love that it's still online when you Google my name.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. There's nothing. Are we allowed to?
We're allowed to.
Are we allowed to leave
We're
this? It's
allowed.
okay. It's okay.
it should be alright.
I
Digital
find it
footprints,
hard
it is
to
what
be
it is.
100% honest with you. Make your split decisions in 3,
With my
2,
mom.
1.
Mm.
All right, go ahead and turn around. All right, I am calling y'all out.
Right.
Parents and kids are 100% honest.
I don't need to tell her everything all the time, every thought that goes through my head, but if I
Right.
wanted to, I could.
Do you feel safe enough with me?
Mostly, actually.
Are there
yeah.
things that you just don't feel comfortable sharing with your mom?
I
Feel 100% safe sharing for whatever reason.
no, I think
I feel that.
like, had to ease my parents into accepting me 100% for who I am, and so they're gonna hear about dates, and they're gonna hear that I like slept over at someone's house sometimes, or last night I smoked weed in front of my mom, which I don't know if I've ever done, but it's just like, yeah, you're staying at my house and I
That's
smoke
hard.
weed, so I'm gonna smoke, but that feels like. It's like we're just kind of inching towards 100% honesty with those kinds of things. I came out to my parents about a year ago, and I was really nervous about their response. But again, I was like, "This is my life, and you literally just got to deal with it, or you're not going to be part of it." And that's just kind of how it goes. But I am kind of like interested in my first girl, and I'm curious how my mom will handle that if I end up dating this girl.
Woo.
And, like,
You would handle that if she dated a girl.
Well, if she dated a girl, she dates a girl. But I love the question I get from church people. Will you accept your kids if they ever come out? Will you still love them, or will you disown them? That's my favorite word, disown. Black people never think about owning people. So, bottom line
True.
is that's my baby.
True.
I may disagree with her. I may not embrace everything that she does, but I embrace and I love my daughter. I came to terms with it.
She
and I
does
have to
remind me of my
continue
aunt, though.
to
She
try
does
to
remind me of
come
my
to terms
aunt.
with it because It's step by step. I'm not going to lie and say, oh, I'm fine with everything, because that's what we're forced into, an either or. And I refuse to do that. I am gray in a lot of areas. And when it comes to my children, I want to discuss it more and more and more. I may never come around 100%. As long as she knows I'm still here for her 100%. And again, she is her own person. She's independent, makes her own decisions.
And you're okay with that?
If I had a magic wand, I think I would take the embracing, rather than, I feel like it's a little bit like hate the sin, love the sinner. And it's like, okay, sorry, I'm putting words in your mouth. I'm sorry. But that's a little of the energy I get. But it's like, oh, I'm not 100% cool with you being with a girl.
Run it back, boy. She was hitting you with the Looney Tunes talk.
And it's like, okay, sorry, I'm putting words in your mouth. I'm sorry.
You know what I'm saying? Stupid.
Like, oh, I'm not 100%
That's funny.
cool with you being with a girl, but I'll still love you through it. Knowing that you're not 100% backed up kind of sucks, but also I am grateful that she's trying, and she's come a long, long way from when we were kids. If I had come out 15 years ago, this would be very different. So, yeah, I'm good with it right now.
I mean.
Heather, your Nectar profile says you are hypersexual.
Oh, my God.
Wait, what? Hey, it's no big deal. I'm that way, too. It's all good.
Oh, no. That's the last thing you want to hear.
It's good.
Nectar? Come on. That was an ad? That was an ad? Come on. Let's be real, man.
Times I needed you, but didn't want to bother you. Make your split
Absolutely.
in 3, 2, 1. All right, go ahead and turn around. Rachel, I'd love to start with you.
Look how long this segment is. Yeah, that's gonna be devious.
I can't think of like a specific time, I guess, but I feel like you will do everything to come to my rescue and help me with whatever I need to do. And I know sometimes that like, even if it's like very difficult for you to do that, but I know you have a lot you're dealing with in your own life, in your own space. And so I try to solve my problems on my own when I can, and then lean on you when it's too much for me to kind of hold. She's so strong. Like, this woman is a badass, and she runs her own company. She has
she going crazy.
Employees that she's bossing around.
I like the glaze.
Just,
I like the
running
glaze.
the world. So of course there's a lot of like I want to be that too, and I want to show you that I can be that too. And ooh, I'm getting emotional. And ooh.
I knew it was
Baby
going to
girl,
happen.
it's okay to be vulnerable and ask for help and all of that other stuff. So, and in some ways, it makes me feel sad if the role model, if the interpretation of a strong woman role model is that then you can't be soft and vulnerable, then we're doing something wrong.
Right.
So
That's facts.
let's
That's for
all
everybody,
please
though.
impact that just because we all have our strengths and we can all be these badass people, we still get a pass at, man, having bad days and needing help from each other and calling. So,
and I think it's like me learning where my limit is, and learning like, okay, maybe I shouldn't wait to get to that limit to calling you and reaching out.
Is it because you don't want to be a burden, or you don't want to?
No,
I think
even
it's
the
more
probe.
like I want to know that I can do it on my own and that I can solve it on my own. The burden part, I don't think in that aspect, like I don't think I feel like a burden to you as much. If there's anything related to a burden, it's probably like I try to pay for my own things because I don't want you to have to hold the burden for paying for school for me or for car insurance or phone bills or stuff. Like, she does pay for some stuff for me still, and I'm like so appreciative of
Sure,
that.
my mom does.
But I also tried to like
I
kinda
respect
take
it.
on that financial independence on my own as early as I could, as again like another kind of sign of respect for like what you have done to raise me. So yeah, I definitely get to my limits, and I'm still learning where those limits are for sure. And I'm always appreciative when you're there to help me through it. So.
So cute. Heather, your mother is on yes. Do you know why?
I think I do. Yeah, my mom is recently in therapy. Can I share that?
Yes.
Too late.
Can I share that? Already said it.
I couldn't. Okay, but
Her mommy funny.
I am also in therapy, and I think for years, like once I started learning about myself, I started to see the signs of my mom that like something wasn't right. Just growing up, just something was a
Why'd
little
she say
off,
it like that?
with how we handled conflicts mostly, and I just knew like there was something, and I wanted her to go so badly to figure that out, but until she went, I think she didn't know who to turn to. She didn't want to put that on her kids, so we didn't understand where it was coming from. We just experienced the brunt of it, and it was confusing. But she has told us time and time again she doesn't want to bother us.
The brunt of it.
I'm just seeing what it looked like. Honestly, it looked kind of better. I'm not gonna lie to you.
We didn't handle conflict well. We were a little explosive growing up, and we're all getting better. We've all worked on it. It was loud. When we were angry, we got loud, like the whole family. And yeah, I've worked on it. She's worked on it.
I mean, they're loud.
Just like, okay,
Like
this
they
is
felt like they
from
yelling in the
somewhere,
mic.
but no one really knew where. And it
Granted,
was-
they are across the. Yeah,
Is that what
they
you
got some
were saying on
distance.
Yes for?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And I still don't share a lot. But since she talked me into going to therapy, it's been awesome to talk to someone that's completely unattached.
Right.
And because in the Black culture, and I'm speaking generally, I don't know if everybody does it, but most Black families have a strong pecking order. And who's at the top, you don't mess with them. You don't talk about them. You don't call them names behind their backs.
For the most part,
Talk
yeah.
about your mom to your best friend. You
Yeah.
don't say that stuff.
Yeah, for the
And
most part,
you
yeah.
certainly don't talk to your children about your parents or growing up. You just don't do that. So it's a strong tie.
Wait, whoa. Run that back. Hey. Run that back. What did she say? I gotta hear that again.
Certainly don't talk to your children about your parents or growing up. You just don't do that. So it's a strong,
Kind of.
tie on me in the Black culture where you just do not do that. And so she's talked me into going out and finding somebody to talk to.
I say our family is a little different. Family's a little different. A lot of times, like, if we have a quote unquote problem for it, we don't call them out. If we talk behind it, we making a joke of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's usually like if we talk about something they do, it's like in the past, it's just like a joke. It's not really like it's not like us bashing them because we still know we rock with them and everybody, but it's more like a joke for sure. Like in a joking manner, or even then it's like I didn't really like that you did this. Obviously you don't do it now, but you did this. And I just didn't rock with it, even if you are of a higher hierarchy, quote unquote. But we kind of have started to adapt to that, I guess. Our family's been more of like an adapting family to like the new generation where obviously there's still like the hierarchy that we used to have, like, okay, dad, whatever the hierarchy is, but it's kind of adapting to where like we're all sharing a load, but we're just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You feel me? You know what I'm saying?
Do you know why your mother's on Yes?
No, I actually am very curious to hear this. This is a shock.
This is.
Oh, wait a minute. They took up all this halftime. They took the half the time. I'm knowing. This finna go crazy.
Responsible for her happiness and not wanting her to be
Let's get
responsible
this.
for my happiness.
You know she finna chime in.
Happiness. So I'm standing here because there's no such thing as black and white, and there's no right decision, there's no wrong decision, there's only consequences to your actions, and this is the consequence.
Oh, I like hearing that, actually. To an extent.
That's a lot to carry.
I love this woman.
I know y'all are similar.
I absolutely love
That's
her.
right, I think.
You and me, girl.
Friends after this.
I actually have a question because it sounds like some of you have been through divorces or
In the process.
in the process. So
Even better.
this has been something that was very difficult between my daughter and I. Again, my daughter, best friend, love her. She's so smart. She was a witness to my marriage. So who better to help me through that? And yet I felt that conflict of, is this the right thing to talk about with my daughter? Do I burden her with this big decision about a divorce, knowing like we have these different relationships? It's her father. She loves her father. She's my best friend. I need her. I know that her voice will bring me a lot of wisdom. And I handled it in a certain way. Don't know if it was the right or the wrong way, but I would be very interested to know how you guys go through that. Like, do you bring your daughters into when you went through a divorce or when you're going through a divorce? Do you use them as counsel?
I lied to her at first. Actually, that's what I lied to them about when I was leaving their dad.
Oh, yeah.
You lied to her.
I lied to my children when I left my husband. And I told them we were going to go on a vacation and visit their favorite cousins, and that we was going to be for the entire summer, so they should pack all of their favorite things. And then I left their dad.
And you took the kids?
And I took my children. And that was 2010, and we moved into a hotel.
How old were they?
Taya, it was pretty devastating for her too. I think you were 10 or 11. We were going to go.
Yeah, I think I was 10.
It was right after 5th grade. Going
I need to hear her reaction to that.
What was that like for you?
I think something in me knew, because I'm like a little bit older, but I still was like in a little bit of denial, and I was like, okay, cool, we're gonna go hang out with my cousins for the summer. We do that all the time. Like, we always come up to LA and hang out with family. But when I realized that it had happened, I was like, dang, like, so summer's about to end, which means I'm gonna have to make all new friends. Yikes. And I'm like,
yeah, that sounds
brown girl
terrible.
with a Gap at the time because I didn't have braces, wearing Birkenstocks and talking crazy, like, because I'm from Oregon, and these people are gonna make fun of me, like, oh,
Yeah,
this
she's
is gonna
finna
be
get
great.
flamed.
And
I would
think,
flame. I would
it was
flame.
devastating because I didn't know, like, when
I'm not
we
holding
were gonna
back.
see my dad.
No, flame.
Again?
Close with him?
Oh yeah, besties. And it was also really confusing for me because my mom is like the type to, like, she'll never say anything bad about my dad, like, because they're also best friends. They were, you know what I mean? And so I love that because I don't have to deal with, like, having to choose sides or, like,
Right.
feel like I'm hearing negative things about someone who I love and put on a pedestal just as much as her. But it was confusing for me because I was like, okay, so we left him for good, so it seems. I'm about to start 6th grade. But you have
Dang,
nothing
6th
bad to say
grade.
about him, at least to us. So I was confused, I was hurt, I was scared to make all new friends, but I knew that at the end of the day, like, I needed to stand by you and empower you to feel like you made the right decision, because I also didn't want you to have to, like, regret putting you first.
It was
to
a
keep us
really bad relationship.
Yeah.
My ex was a really, really bad partner, but an amazing father. And so I had to give my children the space to love us both, and then try to explain to little children that it was okay and that we both loved them, but we couldn't love each other anymore. It was a very unsafe place for
That's
me.
crazy.
That my daughter
That's
sometimes had to
complex at a young
rescue me
age.
from, and it was pretty painful to decide. I thought I was doing the right
She had to
thing.
rescue you.
Hold on, let me pause. My bad. That's just really complex, like, for a kid, I would say. Like, at least at her age, being like 10, and then what does she have, like, from what I've heard, they had little siblings. So, I mean, I just feel like that's a really complex. That's why obviously, that's why she said it's hard, you know what I'm saying? It's like 9:48. I don't know. Like, it's just really complex for a kid to do that, but it's crazy to think about that happened. But that's crazy. That's crazy, truly.
My husband beat me very bad, almost to death one time, and the only thing that saved me was on Taya's cell phone. She called 911.
Oh.
And that's when I knew I needed to make a change.
Wow.
But I thought I was doing the right thing. I wanted to give my children a 2-parent home. I wanted them to grow up with their mom and their dad. So when it was time to go, I just didn't want to cause them any more pain. So I called my cousin, and she said, come to LA, we'll figure it out. And I packed up my babies, and we stayed in a hotel for 9 months, and they thought it was the coolest thing ever, like Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Sweet Life and Zach and Cody, that's fire. I forgot about Sweet Life and Zach and Cody. That was fire back in the day. Wow.
But I didn't want to cause them any more pain, and their dad is still a phenomenal person to them. We've moved through that. About 7 years later, we learned he was actually diagnosed with schizophrenia, and a lot of things started to make sense. I'm definitely super honest with them now. If you're going through that, I say be honest with them at this age.
Yeah, I seen you.
It goes back to the other question as far as how much do you share, you know, was that the question?
Who knows what the
That was a long time ago. But yeah, just not burdening her or the other kids with what my husband and I are going through. And I want them to continue to love their dad.
Bingo.
I don't want anybody to pick sides.
Right.
That's not what it's about. So my movement was definitely
Drunken Colonel, appreciate the follow, man. Much love to you, man. How's your day going? How's your night going?
Through this thing, continue as a family, and we have.
You have a bad habit that worries me. In 3, 2, 1.
Let me see what you're talking about. Oh, sorry for bothering. I want to offer promotion to your channels. Price lower than any competition. Quality, flexible, convenient order management panel, chat panel. Everything is in your hands. A huge number of custom settings. Go to Stream Rise. All right. You can go to Stream Rise real quick. Just hit that band button. Get him up out of here. Get him up out of here. Get him up out of here. You know how it goes. You know how it goes. Get him up out of here.
Okay, go ahead and turn around. I love that all the mothers are like, yep.
You have a bad habit. Yeah, you know the mother's gonna say that.
But let's start with the one daughter that is on yes.
I think you get really into diet culture, and it's good most of the time. I mean, you're super healthy, super fit.
Ooh, she done changed the answer.
Sometimes I
Look
worry
at her
that
face.
it's, not as good on your own, like, body positivity.
Well, even though I would love to get on Ozempic, there's no doctor that would prescribe it. So
what
you're
is that?
Correct. Like I am always looking for the latest.
What is that? What is Ozempic?
Right. Heather, you moved to yes, by the way.
Yeah, she had to change her mind. She had to think about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I get on you about this. I feel like we just talk about bodies too much and like what's wrong here and all that. And I would like you just to love yourself now, not when something changes.
You have defined the way I see the world.
Hey, whoa.
2.
I'm kind of mad. They kind of skipped through all the moms. I wanted to hear what the moms had to say about the, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to hear what the moms had to say about that.
1. Okay, go ahead and turn around.
I will say yes.
You've shown me how much of a badass a woman can be in the world and how to hold yourself as that kind of amazing woman. And that definitely from a young age, like, helped shape the way I approach the world and the way that I tried to live my life and hold myself.
Thank you for that, baby.
I mean, you made me a mother, so it changed how I defined family, and it changed how I understand love. And that has changed everything about my life.
To live in a great world, like I do, is to not allow anyone to define your world, but rather you let a lot of people define your world, because for you to define your world is completely selfish. And so, no, you have not defined it. You've expanded it.
Feels like it would be a lot of pressure to.
So you're saying yes. Sorry about that. I guess. Wait, let me. She's right. Let me try. She's right on being no, because the question specifically asks you have defined. But technically, if it was like, have you influenced the way I see the world? Technically, it would be yes. But my bad. I'm tripping.
Definition, I think, and you
massively
influenced
my bad.
life. I think that's
my bad. One more pause. Last pause. That is how I would think my mom's. She was. She expanded my world as well, for sure. Expanded the way I see my world. Influenced my perception of the world. Influenced, not defined it, but influenced it for sure.
Possible for you to be my mom and not have shaped me hugely, but yeah, I'm defined by my mom, my dad, my brothers, all my friends, my experiences, my breakups. All of that has defined me. My dog.
She's not kidding.
Especially Rocky.
She's not kidding.
Thank you all so much. Unfortunately, that is all we have time for. So, from the bottom of my heart and everyone watching right now, thank you for your honesty, your authenticity, and your vulnerability today. And I think a hug is in order. Can you please get together? Love is real.
Yeah, be like, man, forget this. Do not hug me. Nah, I'm playing.
Thank you for watching this episode of Split Decision.
That was good. That was good. That was solid. All right, let's get into some geometry dash. Let's get into some geometry dash.